Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Okay, kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, baby, listen, they trying to run my daggone blood pressure up. Okay, I am tired. I'm aggravated, agitated, pissed off. All right, I is tired. I was feeling mighty bad. I was feeling very low, y'all. Okay, because I was not ready. I know that this game is dirty and we got to get into it, and some people got to go. I understand that completely. But it is no reason, y'all. Okay, it is no reason. You can't give me no reason. And Allison, girl, you had me feeling bad for you for about 2 seconds. 2 seconds, I was feeling a little bit bad for you. But now, girl, I wish I could say the ass and burn your behind up. Okay, I got my foot on your neck. I'm watching you. I got my eyes on you, girl. You cannot be trusted. You was bringing me Otto. You was giving me Otto. You was giving me your daddy. You was being so self-righteous, so hypocritical. And I'm freaking over you, chick. Okay, Christian, you ain't too damn behind her either. Okay, and Larys, whatever the hell your name is, I'm tired of you too. They got me pissed off with this episode, y'all. Okay, pissed off. There was things I liked, there was things I didn't like. Of course, we are gonna get all up into all of that. This is House of the Dragon, y'all, okay? AKA them dragons, AKA them thrones. This is, season 1, episode 6, The Queen and the Princess, and baby, they really wanted to run my blood pressure up today, okay? And they did a good job of it. I'm trying to relax, relate, release, and calm down so that we could go ahead and get into this review. They made me mad, y'all. They made me mad. But let's go ahead and get into this episode. So we start out this episode. Rhaenyra is basically giving birth, child. I would not want to be giving birth in this day and age. I'm sorry. It's still hard now. And there's still chances that we could die during childbirth. But honey, this was a whole nother level back then. She looked like she is just going through it. And the damn baby is not even out of her 2 seconds before Allison Raggedy behind is telling her that she want to see the damn baby. They coming in there talking about the queen is requesting for you to bring the child. She's like, for what? And so she starts telling them to help her get herself together, that she's going to go. And of course, they're like, you shouldn't be, getting up yet, walking nowhere. And she's like, yeah, I shouldn't. But at this point, you know what I'm saying? They are asking to see him, so I'm going to be the one to bring my child, right? And she did deliver another boy. You have Laena come up to her, and he's like, oh, I just heard there's another boy. And he's like, where the heck are you going? Okay, he was like, he's saying it too, like she should not be asking you this. This is still going on. Of course, we had a whole 10-year jump, y'all, okay? And I'm not that crazy about these jumps either. I'm going to keep it real. Like, I wanted to see the way they were going to do it before I jumped to judge, you know what I'm saying, what was going on, right? We seen the 3-year jump, and then we seen the 1-year jump. They didn't do too bad with that. Overall, as far as the transition and how they changed these characters, I have to say they did great picks. I ain't even realized for a minute there that this was a different Laena. So they definitely made sure when they was looking for these actors and actresses that they picked people that, definitely resembled the next, where you can see them growing up and looking that way. So they was on point with that. I don't have a problem with that point. But I wish we could have seen more in between. I feel like we could have got some more, and that would have gave us more time with some of the characters. Now, I don't know if this was a choice that they did because they felt like we don't know if we're going to get a season 2. So we're going to try to get as much of the story in season 1 as we can. I don't know if down the line, now that they got a season 2, are we going to get a back and forth, flashbacks and things of that nature. I would like it if they did do that, because I'm really mad that we didn't get to see, I don't want to jump too far ahead. Okay, let me calm down. Let me keep a pace. But you guys get the point, right? I'll get into that a little bit more as we go on into the episode. But for now, we have Laena and, Rhaenyra is trying to make it down this daggone hole. He's saying, at least let me, help you. Let me hold the baby, or hold my arm. Let me do something, right? What can I do for you? At one point, he tried to turn and be like, well, I got stabbed once, because he was asking her, was the birth difficult? Was it hard? Did it hurt? And she's like, boy, what do you think? Like, seriously, you asking me that daggone question? So he says, I wouldn't want to be a woman, okay? I definitely take my hats off to you. And he was trying to say, that he got stabbed before. And she was like, oh, okay, well, good for you. But he was like, why are we still going through this? Like, why is she still having you come and bring these daggone babies down this damn hall every chance she get? I mean, they had to go down the hall and up some stairs. Mind you, there's a trail of blood going behind damn Rhaenyra as she's going up there to take the damn baby to her. I said, you gotta be freaking kidding me, I feel like King Viserys is really giving Alicent too much daggone leeway, okay? But we already know the game with him. So nonetheless, when they get in there, and please somebody explain it to me why King Viserys is basically looking like the damn crypt keeper, okay? But everybody seems to be damn dying before him, and this man is still the hell around, okay? It's 10 years. I ain't think Viserys could live another damn 10 years. And even though he look half dead, he come in and he's like, yo, let me see my grandchild. And, he acting like he ain't got a care in the world. He don't notice that anything is out of place. You can't tell him is anything wrong. He's like, oh, another boy. And he had the nerve to be like, he got his father's nose. Everybody looking like, okay, if you say so, right? We'll go along with it. Everybody acting like they too scared to speak up. Of course, except for Miss Alicent, baby. Okay, she is speaking up too damn much. I wish somebody would cut out her damn tongue at this point. So she even comes up to Laena and says, you may get lucky one day. Keep trying. You might actually have one that comes out and looking like you. I say, yeah, okay, Alicent, whatever. So, basically, he says, she should get back and get some rest or whatever. And at the same time, they basically, was like, the king, he just like, yeah, okay, you go ahead. And Alicent is getting mad. And so, of course, she brings it to his attention as soon as they walk out the daggone door. Like, come on, this is ridiculous. One baby would be a mistake or whatever, right? But now you done had 3. None of them have this color daggone hair. And at this point, I'm surprised that they were even able to have dragons that hatch. And of course, the king want to play it stupid. Like, why you say that? Why wouldn't they? And she's basically like, come on, why or whatever, right? And then, of course, he want to start going into the story or whatever that he want to tell her. And Alicent didn't want to hear it. She really could care less about what the daggone king is talking about. She right now is just acting freaking bitter as I don't know what. And just, giving all this damn attitude. Carrying around all these feelings for the last 10 damn years. And I'm tired of her, okay? I really am. Like, when do you even have time to take care of your kids and do what you need to do for you? You so concerned with what's going on with daggone Rhaenyra's damn vagina. I'm sick of it. And so, as they leaving to go back to their room, Laena was saying that because Laena had told him that the damn child name was Joffrey. I guess he said, listen, you don't have 2 other ones. You named them what you want to name them. You having them from who you want to have them with. I'm at least get this name, And so she didn't say nothing when he named him that. And Alicent was basically like, oh, that's a weird name for a Targaryen, right? So as they're leaving, Rhaenyra's like, you don't consult me before you go ahead and give a name. And he's like, look, and that's the least I should be able to do, right? And he says that he's always been there for her, had her back, and pretty much they are family, and saying they can do whatever together. And so she says, well, lately you've been kind of falling off, right? You haven't seemed too interested in our affairs as of late. So she's pulling his coattail and letting him know, yeah, you've been here and all of that, but you need to go ahead and step it up. And so, he basically is holding the baby or whatever, and she go ahead in the room. Now, when she gets in the room, mind you, he turn around and look, and you just see the long trail of daggone blood behind her. And when she gets in the room, you basically have the other kids there, right? Her 2 other sons, and they're in there with Sir Howard Strong, right? Who I believe is all 3 of these damn kids' father, right? He done took Christian Cole's place as the night guard, for her. And he done took his place in that daggone bed. He said, listen, I don't mind laying up. And so in the meantime, as they tell her to look at the dragon egg and all of that, and, they're thanking Sir Harwin for being there for the boys. And then Sir Harwin is asking to hold the baby. And Laena is like, sure, of course. And he gives them to him, and he's telling the boys they got to go back down to the dragon pit. and they leave out. You got Rhaenyra and him just smiling back and forth at each other. Her and Sir Strong, okay, break bones over here smiling, he humming and rockabye and the baby. And it's just like it's another day up in the neighborhood. I said, well, y'all so freaking out in the open and obvious. No wonder they whispering everywhere in the daggone halls, right? Y'all not even trying to hide it at the same time. And so we then see the boys get down to this daggone dragon pit. And basically, I guess this is supposed to be like they practice or whatever. And, they are bringing out this sheep for the dragon, right? And we have this man come out. I guess he is one of the dragon trainers. And he's letting them know, like, that is certain things, right? You say, let him come, bring him, right? This has to become a regular routine for him to be able to, one, for the boys to practice, and two, also for the dragon to be able to get something to eat. Okay, they got to eat something out here, right? And to let them know that, this is their rider and get accustomed to them, right? Giving them different commands. And so you have the dragon keeper, basically talking to them and saying that, this is what you have to do. And so at first they look a little scared when the dragon is brought out to him. When the dragon is roaring, they like kind of moving back and looking or whatever. And he's basically saying like, you got to stand there, you got to be still and all of that. And so now when they come out with the sheep, he over here smiling. Okay, he was happy to see this little sheep come out that they about to be able to get their munch on with. And basically he was saying can he tell him what to do. So he's like Vermax, and basically starts calling out the dragon's name. And he tells him that he have to be able to hold his mastery over your dragon, right? And to be able to train it and to get it to do what you want it to do. And he says Prince Aegon has, Sunfire. And, he was basically talking to him in Valerian or whatever the case may be, right? And he was like, only those that are fully bound are able to give instruction to one of the others and have them listen. And so he's basically, can I say it? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm. So, of course, here he go. He screams out like, Vermax. He's like, Zakaris Vermax. And Vermax lit that damn sheep up, honey. Okay, he set him right on fire. And so, Rhaenyra's two boys and the oldest son, okay, that should be going in for king, right? Alicent's firstborn son, okay. They all are telling the younger brother that, Aemon, we have a surprise for you. And he's like, what is it? And they're like, something very special. They're telling him that they had got him this other dragon. And so they like, come on over here so we could show you, because you're the only one of us that haven't, that doesn't have a dragon, and we found one for you. So we're finding out that all the rest of them have dragons, been training them, whatever, and he's the only one without one. And of course, when they get over here, it's not a daggone dragon, it's a pig, and they got the pig coming out grunting, and they're like, behold, you got the pig, and they're laughing at him or whatever. So his feelings is hurt. And at the same time, he go walking off into a cave after they done ran away, and there's a big dragon in there that done, blew some fire at him. So when we see Alicent again, she's sitting with her daughter or whatever, they over here looking at some snake, and she talking about, it's a beyond our understanding, and, it doesn't have any legs, and, she's telling them that, they have to learn it and all this other stuff. And of course the Kingsguard interrupts with Aemon, and she's like, well, what happened? What's going on? And they like, he did it again. This is a regular, I guess he does, where he's going and messing with these daggone dragons. So she's like, you're obsessed with it. It's getting to be ridiculous. So he's telling her how they gave him a pig and they said it was a dragon. And, we still got the daughter sitting here fascinated with the snake, talking about, it don't got no legs at all. He only have to close an eye and all this other stuff, right? And in the meantime, Aemon is complaining about the fact that they all laughed at him, and she's over here hugging him or whatever and telling him, not to worry about it. And so, of course, she tries to go to complain to King Varys about it. And he's like, look, I'm pretty sure that it was not just our grandkids. You sure it wasn't our oldest that was with them too? And it was, And she's pissing me off because every time we see her, she's calling these kids out of their damn name. I don't care how mad you are at Rhaenyra. I don't care how much you feel like you know she slept out of wedlock or whatever. You should not be taking it out on the kids and calling them out their name and all of that kind of stuff. I don't like that. I don't play that damn game, right? And so she talking about some, you know what's going on, and you know that this one child would be a mistake, but there's three, and this is a game that she's playing. She's getting by with too much stuff, and not to mention that this is now decency and all this other stuff. So he's telling her, like, look, I had a black mare once. Of course, he got to start telling her a story. It was like a black raven, and he says she escaped, and a neighboring stallion basically became a fowl for her. And he was like, the stallion was as silver as the moon, on a winter's night or whatever the case may be, right? And when the fowl was born, it was chestnut. And he says, basically she did, was the most remarkable thing that he had ever saw, or whatever the case may be, right? And nature is a thing of mysterious works. And so here she go, of course, because we just gotta be Allison. Oh, how do you know? He's like, what? How do you know it was the silver stallion or whatever the case may be, right? How do you know it was him? And so basically she's like, did you witness it for yourself? And she's just asking too many damn questions for me. Varys looks over it. He banging on the damn table. And he was like, the consequences for the allegations that you keep spewing and you trying to toy with will be dire. Let's not have this conversation no more. Let you not speak of this again. But of course, Allison ass ain't gonna stop. So I don't know why, Verses is even wasting his damn time saying this shit. Okay. But he does anyway, and he gives her a kiss, and he go ahead about his business. I was finding it funny that 1 minute she would be ignoring him, and the next minute he would be ignoring her. I will say, as much as she was annoying me, I was finding those parts funny as well. We get Christian Cole, who still got a damn attitude 10 years later over one damn lay in the hay that he had a child. I can't. And he over here trying to call her out her name too, and even Allison had to stop for a minute and look at him. He over here calling her a damn cunt, and then he gonna apologize because it's like, yeah, let's not forget that you damn still just a knight, okay? And you're talking about the princess to the queen. So he had to catch himself and give his little fake ass apology. I'm actually so pissed that he's still walking around. He got the easy way out and got to work, underneath Allison now. When he went and destroyed and beat the crap out of somebody, killed them or whatever the case may be at the wedding, that was his punishment to go work for her. We got their damn son standing on the damn ledge, butt naked, jerking off. I said, child, for everybody to see in the window. And you got Allison just coming in, talking to him, holding a conversation. Like, you ain't just walking on your damn son. Trying to get off in the damn window. She over here talking about, oh, were you with them? Was you down with it too? Just standing behind him watching for a minute before she even says something. She talking about who idea was it? Who was behind it? Aegon over here trying to get himself together and hurry up and pull a damn sheet over himself. And she was like, was this your plot? Of course he gonna say, no, it was Jace. It was both of them. I didn't have nothing to do with it. It was the two of them. And she was like, but whose idea was it? And she was like, come on, Aemon is your brother. Basically, we a family, so we supposed to stick together, right? We got to defend our own. You can't go and be doing things against them. And he like, yo, it was funny. It was funny. We all laughed. And she was like, yeah, but would it be funny later when Rhaenyra's sons is the ones that's taking over? And at this point, he don't care. He's just like, so what? She's over here telling him that when, Rhaenyra sends the throne, that Jace would be behind him as her heir. And he's like, and? Like, who cares? And she, he's saying, so she was like, man, can you be this short-sighted? And I say, yes, he can, because he's a kid. This is not on his mind. So it's literally where they change positions. And now she's acting the same damn way her father used to act with her, is basically how she's been acting with damn Aegon. Okay. And so basically, she sits down and starts talking to him about if Rhaenyra comes into power, your life will, could be forfeit. And, of course, just trying to scare him and all of that. Aemon's will as well. She could cut off everything and all this stuff. And he's talking about that he won't challenge it. And she was like, you have to challenge it, and all grabbing his face simply by living and breathing. You could be damaged. And it's like, if this don't tell you who you turning into, girl, I don't know what is. And my thing is, even if she would keep it real and she would just be the way she is and fight for what she feel like she needs to fight for, fine. But the fact that she be so hypocritical and one minute be acting like she feel bad, next minute be judging everybody, next minute be trying to like innocent, that's the part that irritates me with her. So she's saying for him to get dressed and come on or whatever the case may be. Now, next, baby, we see these dragons coming through, right? I said, wait a minute, Damon Dragon done got bigger. My son was saying, nah, that's not Damon. I said, yes, it is. So we see Damon coming through, and then we see he's with Laena, and Laena's over here on Vhagar. You know, she done talked about this dragon when she was a child, and now she's up here riding it. They doing their thing. She's like Zakaris. They flying through the damn fire. I say, yes, 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 go ahead. That's what I'm talking about. I'm here for it, right? And Damon is actually looking happy. He's looking peaceful. I'm like, okay, it's like a little sister, okay, to calm Damon behind down, you know. They go ahead and they come together and come to find out they have two beautiful girls. And we have this daggone, you know, God there that's trying to say that he would basically take, you know, both of their daughters. You know, he's giving them this long speech about the great dragon of Valyria and the enemy ships and the fleet that they got and the tide is turning and all this stuff. And, you know, you got Damon stand up and smiling and talking about, you know, to Aegon the Conqueror. It was kind of showing a different side of Damon, right? He definitely was looking a little bit more at peace. And so Rigo, I think his name was, said, you know, now we could get down to business of what I came here for, right? He was basically was saying that he wanted them to have this alliance and he wanted to get both of their daughters. And so Laena basically says, so you came all this way to give us this, you know, long ass speech and history lesson because you wanted to have our daughters, right? And you know, he basically was like, look, I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And so the daughters is laughing and they looking or whatever, right? And they saying they would reside in Pentos and they could give them a gift outright and they can have farms and lands and all this stuff, right? We know that that's what it's all about. A vineyard and the wood, and the tenants would give them tributes and all of this stuff, right? For their new Targaryen lord. And they basically could have freedom of the, you know, harbor and all of that, and it would benefit the royal station. And so, you know, Damon is saying continue, whereas Leanna's trying to be nice about it, but you can see she ain't so much with it, and she's basically more so like, we'll think about it and discuss it type of thing, right? Like it's duly noted. And then he's telling them like your family got dragons and all this other stuff. So it's like Damon is getting more interested and wanting to hear more about it, where he feels like it could be a chance for them to make a deal. And you could tell that Laena was kind of getting pissed by that, right? And so they were saying that they would have his cup overflow. It would be, you know, gratitude and all this other kind of stuff. So, you know, she basically was trying to say we extended our visit here, and like I said, we would think about it and all of that stuff, whereas Damon is like, this is a generous offer, okay, and we would certainly entertain it. And so, you know, his wife ain't one to hold the punches. She definitely pulled her hand back and was like, oh, okay, I see what you trying to say and where you trying to go, but don't think this is the end of the discussion, okay? And she basically ends up coming up and you see him sitting talking with the daughter, and she just, you know, the daughter was saying goodnight to him or whatever. And when she leaves, she was letting him know, like, listen, I'm not happy here. This is not where I want to be. You know, I want to go back home. I want to go back to my roots. I want to go back. She was like, you're over here considering, you know, this offer or whatever. And he was like, you know, we're free to do as we please and all this other stuff, right? And she was like, yeah, we are free to do what we please. But basically, you know, she don't want to begin doing these endless shifting, you know, negotiations with people, right? They're using them. And she was saying that she rather stand on her own and go back to her own home, you know, with her daughters, with this newborn child that she's going to have. You know, she wants to basically die like a dragon rider. She don't want to just be sitting on the side and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I respect it. And she was like, listen, we of the old Valyrian bloods, okay? We don't belong here. This is not where we supposed to be at. This is not for us. And, he's just looking at her. And then he stopped for a minute and he rubbed her stomach and kissing on her stomach and stuff like that. And that's when she was letting him know, like, I don't want my child to be born here. I want to go back to Dripwalk. I want to be in my homeland. I want to raise my daughter in my homeland with their family according to their birthright, okay? Ain't got no time to be sitting around and playing games with you and damn, Prince Reggio, whatever the hell his name was, all right? Not some fat country lord. And so at this point, Damon turned around and he go back to his reading as if he's saying, you dismiss. So we got a little lovers quarrel going on here, but you could tell that he really does respect him and where he's coming from. Now, where she's coming from. Now, in the meantime, we got King Viserys sitting up there watching the kids doing their little fighting, whatever they training, and you could see that Christian Cole is being funny with them. It's like he's going mad hard with the Listen kids and basically ignoring Rhaenyra's kids or whatever, right? And trying to tell them different stuff to do. And then at one point, he tells them to come on, and fight with him. You can see that Aegon is starting to want these daggone girls, honey. When we got these little, handmaids walking past, he's staring at them and worried about them more than the damn fight. And so Viserys, in the meantime, is just looking down, smiling. He don't care. He ain't got nothing to say about nothing. Sir Harwin comes out and he sees the funny stuff that Christian is doing. And again, this is pissing me off with Christian and with Allison because y'all are treating these kids in a funny way, and regardless of what you may think or feel, you should not be treating these kids any different. It's like, grow the hell up, seriously. And so Harwin calls them out on it, and unfortunately in this case, Sir Christian knew the buttons to push on Harwin, right? He knew if he came out his face, he was telling him like, oh, well, why are you so interested? Why are you going so hard, right? Usually a person would go that hard if it was somebody that was their cousin, that was their nephew, that was some type of family member, even their son, right? And Harwin starts to beat the mess out of him. And I was happy that he beat him, okay? I was like, beat him harder because you ain't beating him hard enough for me, to be honest. But in this case, he got the upper hand on him because Christian was using his mind. And that's exactly what he wanted to happen. Whereas Harwin got caught up in the heat of the moment and went with his emotions. And he let him end up basically getting him kicked the heck out, right? And so they come to let the princess know what happened. And when she basically sneaking up, the stairs to listen, she's hearing Harwin and his father going back and forth. And he's singing how he disrespected their name. He's bringing problems to their house or whatever the case may be, right? And he's saying that, you're bringing shame and you're making more things obvious to the king. And you're making things harder, for the princess. Like, if you really cared about her, you wouldn't have been going and doing all of this, right? You should have never laid your hand on this guy, whatever the case may be, right? And this is the future of the throne that is, being jeopardized right now. You have all these open accusations, and at the end of the day, they're getting uglier. And he said, what treachery will get you? It will get you killed. It will get her killed. It could jeopardize these boys. So it's true if you think about that. Is like, to a certain degree, Rhaenyra and him is wrong too, because they not thinking about all of this. It would mean exile. It could mean death or whatever the case may be for you, her, and her children. Like, that's real. And so she's listening, and Harwin is saying, it's just a rumor, whatever the case may be, spun by the prince's rivals. And he was like, come on now, people have eyes, okay? Strong ain't stupid. He know these is his damn grandkids. And he was like, even though the king won't open up his eyes and he won't, say what he's seeing or accept what he's seeing, everybody else around here is not stupid too. So come on, you got to have more common sense than that, right? And he was like, you need to have more sense than that or whatever. And I'm pretty sure that Harwin could tell that, Princess Rhaenyra was there. She's on the side trying to listen or whatever. And, he's basically telling him that he's not going to be able to stay there no more. He going to have to take his behind, back home. You have messed up my honor and yours or whatever, right? And Harwin is saying that I wish you could understand, and I wish you wouldn't just, stoop to heavying up to defending somebody else or whatever. And so now when Princess Rhaenyra goes back to her room, they giving her something that they told her will kind of help her, calm her stomach down, probably calm her bleeding or whatever, that she going to be feeling better. The next day, you got Laena come into the room pissy drunk singing with his lover. I said again, y'all just out here in the open like not another day in the neighborhood, honey. And she asked him to excuse them for a minute, and he sat down. And Laena over here like if it's a dream world, you know, he talking about some, oh, he about to have a little adventure. He about to go back in the seas, you know, he could have his blood enlivened again and all this stuff. And she was like, have you been paying attention? Do you know what the heck is going on right now? Okay, we got stuff popping right here and I need you here. He talking about, well, when a war comes or something, or when the seas get, you know, wild or whatever, then the seaman got to have enough sense to hurry up and move out the way before it does. Because she was like, you can't leave me, you know what I'm saying, when we in the middle of a war. That's not what happens. You got to stand up and, you know what I'm saying, do what you got to do, or whatever the case may be. She was like, everything is going crazy or whatever. And this is when I need you the most. He's saying all the stuff that he's given up and how he's done stayed here and held her down for 10 years. So therefore he feel like he need a damn break. And she is like, child, you ain't getting no break. Are you crazy? The last about the thing you about to do is get break. You know, she said there's all these insinuations going on. And Laena made me laugh because he was like, insinuations? Hey, yeah, insinuations you say, right? And she was like, come on, these are our sons, yours and mine. We all have to stand like a united front. You cannot be up and abandon them now to go around some damn narrow sea. You know what I'm saying? He talking about he a knight and he used to fight and he used to be in that war. I said, what are you talking about, Laena? I'm a warrior. You know, usually I could agree with you, Laena, but not on this one. He talking about he been faithful on his part. And so she was like, yeah, you may have been faithful. That's fine. But you also been out here partying. You been using ships, because he was saying when he was old, she said, you ain't old nothing, okay? You've been able to indulge yourself at court. You've been able to have a funky good time, be with whoever you wanted to be with, have the finest horse, have the finest wines. And I never said nothing, okay? I'll let you have, you know what I'm saying, all you want to have because of our agreement. But she was like, now I'm ordering you as your princess, okay? Your behind ain't going nowhere. You going to be sitting right here with me. So I said, okay, I guess that take care of that. Now, moving on along, you know, we find out that Laena and Damon's daughter, basically her egg has not hatched yet. And her mother was just letting her know, like, it took me 15 years to be able to ride. And then look at me now. I'm riding Vhagar, the largest, you know, dragon in the world, or whatever the case may be, right? Sometimes half the dragons don't hatch. Like, that's okay. In other words, telling her not to worry about it a whole much. And we kind of hearing her say, you know, that they'll take everybody else but her because she's not a dragon rider. And her mother's like, what are you talking about? Like, get that out of your head, right? And she's feeling like her father, right, Damon, is not really wanting to mess with her like that because of the fact that she's not a dragon rider as well. And so, you know, her mother's just trying to reassure her and let her know that he's doing his best, and that, you know, basically she don't have to think that way, and that it doesn't always work that way, right? And so that was a cute little discussion between them two, and we also got to learn something as far as that goes too. And so then we're having this council meeting where, you know, they're basically, of course, saying that, you know, Allison tries to be cute and says that the stepstones have been left for a decade, and basically wants to put the blame of that on Damon. And Rhaenyra was like, no, we all dropped the ball on that one. Nobody was sending nothing there. There was many of things that we could have done. And they were saying how it costs more money for war. No, they said actually that they didn't have no money, I'm sorry, y'all, to keep things up, right? But Rhaenyra was saying it would be more money spent in a war, so why not do the things to prevent a war? And they actually, you know what I'm saying, have no choice but to agree with that, because she was, speaking facts when she said that. So they was trying to dismiss the meeting and say that there wasn't nothing else to talk about. And Rhaenyra was like, no, actually, I would like to say one more thing. And she stood up, and King Viserys had told everybody to sit down. So at this point, it's her and Allison standing. Now, she says that basically she wants, you know, her son to marry Allison's daughter, right? So this way they could be allies. And she says when Syrax has his eggs, more than likely, or her eggs, more than likely she would have 6 of them. And one of them she would give to Aemon to have his choice. So Viserys is like, you know, that's a kind gesture and that sounds good. That's a symbol of goodwill, or whatever the case may be, right? Like, he's saying that they would consider it. Whereas Allison is over it. We already know she don't want to consider this. You know, she's telling her, like, first of all, we're family, so we should be forming together. And secondly, at one time we were even friends. So just based off of that, I want to stop all this craziness that's been going on. I want to bring us together. So in the middle of this, her breast started leaking, and Allison is like, trying to get her attention so she could see it. And then when she sees it, she's like, oh, seven hells, when she's trying to sit down and cover it, and everybody else is over here looking like this and stuff. So she basically was saying, okay, well, they should go ahead. The king is saying this is a handsome gift and a great gesture. And Allison says, we will consider your offer or whatever, but the king should rest now. And of course, to give, Rhaenyra time to get out of there too, since her breast is leaking everywhere. So now when they get out the meeting and they walking in the hall, she not even 2 seconds away. And again, oh, you heard how she tried to speak so sweetly, but really she's nothing but a hound, and she's just desperate, and there's nothing about this that's sincere. And he's like, it is sincere. He was like, she wants us to ignore, she talking about she wants us to ignore her transgressions, and he was like, look, talking about her plain featured sons. Like, I don't like how she keeps saying different stuff about her sons. It's really getting underneath my skin. And he's telling her, like, we're a family. Put the childish quarrels aside, okay? We ain't got no time for that. We need to join hands so that we could be stronger for it. And he was like, come on, get it together. She gonna talk about some when I'm cold in my grave. I said, girl, at the point you going now, to be honest, I wish you was already there. I'm just keeping it real. So he calling after her like Allison, he get in the chair. He telling her he don't want the blanket. She put the blanket on him anyway. She putting the pillow behind him all rough and shit. I'm surprised she ain't smothered him with that damn pillow yet. And so Lord Strong come there to talk to him, and she all in it standing there while he talking. First she gonna tell Strong he needs to rest, and he basically just ignored her and was like, no, I want to talk to him. He could go ahead and come in. So that's why I said I was laughing at the back and forth between them, because you would have times she would ignore him when he was calling after her, and then you would have times that he would be ignoring what she was saying. And Longstrong just basically wanted to step down. He was saying he can no longer hold it with integrity, after everything that went down or whatever. He have a shadow that's hanging over his, place. And so the king was like, listen, you gonna have to tell me what this shadow is. He said, because you've been a good hand. I've been very happy with you. I don't got no complaints. I don't see how what your son did have anything to do with you or how I feel about you and how you've been doing your job. So unless you could come out and tell me exactly what it is, then no, I do not accept your resignation. Okay, you're gonna have to stay here. Here go Allison. Yes, we must have the reasoning in plain language. You must tell us, because of course she waiting for him to spill the tea. But of course he not gonna come straight out and spill nothing on his son, no matter how much he feel like everybody knows. So he says he can't say anything, and she looks like she's disappointed that he's saying that. But he does ask, can he go back at least and take Harwin back there and set him up or whatever, because he was like, at the end of the day, he's supposed to actually be next in line and take over there or whatever, right? And so he says he wants to go back home and set him up with that. And Verses was basically like, do it, and then she was trying to cut in and be like, my dear husband. And he was like, I said what I said. Like, he got to keep shutting these damn people down because they keep wanting to freaking play games with him, So he said he was going to take him back to court and let him have the family seat because he is his heir. And, Verses is like, okay, cool. He would give him 1 day for that. So they supposed to be going to leave. Now here go Larys, honey. And this is his own damn brother and the Strong's other son, all right? Mr. Broke Damn Foot, okay? He gonna, oh, come on. Princess, Queen, I was trying to wait for you, but I went a little bit ahead. He already got the food and stuff there. And she said, yeah, no doubt that you've been sipping on the wine too. He said, of course, because, the wine is the best part of having meat. And he over here in her damn head now. They saying who else could be serving as the hand, and he said, his father can't continue to serve as the hand because now he's compromised due to his son. She said, well, he tries to come in there and say that, but, Varys basically wasn't accepting it, right? And she was saying that her father should come back because he always kept it real. And he basically was like, well, to be honest, Queen, he's compromised too. And she basically admitted it. She was like, yeah, but at least he would compromise and be biased to me or whatever, right? And she had to catch herself. I said, yeah, no matter how much you catch yourself, girl, the truth is always coming up out of you, right? And so basically he was saying that he wouldn't be good either. So in other words, I guess he feel like he's supposed to be the one to worm his way up and be the hand, right? And then eventually become the hand, for her boys. At least that's what I'm thinking. And so we then see that Larys goes down to where these prisoners is at, and he's basically like, some of y'all supposed to be here for hanging and all different kind of stuff. Y'all into the whole bunch of different things, and you know what I mean? Like, maybe I can make some kind of deals with y'all if y'all come on out here and do what I tell y'all to do, all right? And we seeing that Laena is in delivery, right? And she's having a hard time. This baby is not coming out. She's trying to push and push and push and push. So they come up to Damon, and basically is the same scenario that we started out this damn series with Viserys' wife or whatever, right? But in this case, Damon is like, what is the options? Because they're telling him that they may not be able to save this baby. They don't know if they're going to be able to save her. He's shaking his head like, no, he looked like he wanted to get ready to walk over to her. But when she overheard this, remember, she said she going to live her way. She going to die her way. So she get up and go out to where the daggone dragon was. And I said, I know y'all freaking lying. And she's saying Takaris over and over and over. Now the dragon looked like he was saying, nah, I ain't doing it, girl. You bugging, right? And like he could feel her pain. We have noticed and saw that, right? Over and over and over. And literally as soon as Damon steps out, the dragon finally ends up, Vagar, he finally ends up opening up his mouth and just set her on fire. I said, I know y'all lying. I know y'all are freaking lying. Like, damn, we didn't get to see her and Laena go back and forth and visit each other. We didn't get to see her and Rhaenyra being friends. Nothing. Like, really, y'all just took her out like that? I was so pissed off. I'm like, at least we got Laena a little bit more. We got even Harmon Strong a little bit more, but we did not get that much of her. And this is the part that pisses me off, that we had the 10-year jump because I literally thought we was going to have a little bit more of her. I said, how is it that King Varys is still around and everybody else is dying? Y'all got to explain it to me, okay? I was too through, and a tear literally came to my eye because I wasn't expecting that one to come like that, especially so fast. You have Rhaenyra asking, her son's asking her, like, am I the ambassador, okay? After Strong was saying his goodbyes, she's over here telling them that they could still write letters and visit and all this other stuff, right? And then she tells Laena, like, we out of here. We getting out of here. He was like, well, what about the fact that you were saying you wanted to stay here and that you was going to be stronger fighting here? She said, no, we should have been left. I stayed here too long, okay? I was wrong. We're going to pick up our family and we're going to go to Dragonstone. We should have left here years ago. And she basically ends up turning and telling him he could bring his plaything with him too, okay, because they need extra swords. And when she says that, him and the little plaything over here, like, I say, y'all are too much, y'all, because y'all don't even be trying to hide at all, right? And I said, in the meantime, so he not gonna get no message that his sister died, Corliss, and the queen never, ever, ever, ever ain't gonna get no message like what is going on here, y'all. All right, I was still busy stuck on that, but before I could even get over that and finish thinking about that or whatever the case may be, we were seeing, we were seeing them get to Dragonstone and all of that, and we seeing, Viserys, like I said, he's still sitting in the damn dark and looking like the damn crypt keeper, and rats all around him squealing and squeaking or whatever the case may be, child. And in the meantime, we seeing some damn, fire and smoke over here at damn Harwin house, and he getting up, and we come to find out that damn Harwin Strong is locked in the damn room. His father banging and trying to get him out, child. They bodies done burned to a damn crisp, and who is it behind it but damn Larys himself, okay, creeping around with his little cloak on, looking like the damn devil himself. And then he go back and looking at some damn flowers and telling, Miss Queen Alicent, what he did and everything like that. And she talking about some, I did not wish for this. I did not wish for this. I did not ask for this. And Larys is like, oh, but I feel certain that you will reward me when the time is right. I say, yeah, bitch, that's what you get. That's what you get. You wanted to play the game and you wanted to play both sides. You wanted to be innocent and you wanted to be damn, vengeance at the same time. So you reap what you sow. And that was the end of the episode, y'all. Y'all put it in the comments. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about this episode, honey. Let's discuss, okay? Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky, y'all. For Laena, okay? And Harwin. Rest in peace, y'all. Until next time.